All right, San Diegans continue to recover from the damage caused by this past week's wildfires. Actually, they're just starting to recover. Up next, a local recovery expert talks about a smart and practical resource guide for disaster survivors. Welcome back. San Diego County residents of North County, of course, just starting to recover from last week's wildfires. With us this morning is a local recovery expert. His name is Sean Scott. He has a resource guide for disaster survivors. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Interesting story. Back in 2003, you're actually a working contractor and see that this county was overwhelmed by what happened.
Yes, it was just devastating. Nobody was prepared for recovery. And that was the key. Once the first responders left the scene, you know, all these people evolved from survivors into victims simply by making poor choices, signing contracts prematurely, not checking people out, or maybe not getting a fair shake from their insurance company.
Yeah, and let's face it, this particular person that's going through this has never faced this before.
Right.
They don't know where to go.
Exactly.
And what to do. And there's so many people offering help that maybe is not such a good idea.
Yeah.
So you came up with this book. Tell us how this happened, this guide.
Well, after witnessing and seeing so many people being taken advantage of, or just not faring well in the recovery process, I felt compelled to put my 30+ years of knowledge into a simple, easy-to-read resource that people could be given to by first responders or at the shelters,
right,
to help them navigate the recovery process. And so the book is filled with all the pertinent tips and points that you're going to need to know to be able to start walking down this road, because once the first responders leave the scene, you're on your own.
Yeah.
And so this gives them a tool to give to you or a resident, a starting point of how to not fall prey to all of the things that will show up.
And you didn't just do this on your own. You got the resourcing help from the Red Cross, the county,
Yes,
various sources, right?
And it had to be vetted. I mean, all the logos on the cover of the book.
Why don't you hold one of those up just so people can see what you're talking about here?
The county seal, the San Diego County Office of Emergency Services, the San Diego Fire Chiefs Association, and the American Red Cross. Before we could even use these logos, it had to be vetted, and about a dozen government agencies had to look through this, scrub it, make sure it was accurate, and before the fire department would keep it on the trucks and hand it out.
Okay.
So
We've prepared some information I believe we have up on the screen. If we could just kind of talk about these are some of the tips perhaps that people need to be aware of as they go into recovery mode here, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about medical care, obviously. Just go through some of these things that are important that people need to pay attention to.
Well, there's a lot of time safety things. So once the fire's out, the first responders have left, you're going to go to your home, and if it's been destroyed, you're looking at a pile of rubble. So there's safety precautions. Making sure that the electrical or gas lines have been disconnected. Usually SDG&E takes care of that. But then you've got issues of protecting your property. Like if you have a safe on site, there you want to make sure that it's removed and you've got your property protected. And then of course you want to let family members and loved ones know that you're okay.
Now these are obviously immediate. Now let's talk about some of the things that as you go forward here that you need to know. Let's see, are these still immediate ones, sort of?
Yes, obviously you need to contact your insurance company if you have insurance, and then they'll send out an adjuster. You need to create an inventory, and the inventory is kind of one of those key things that can also be an item that can make you evolve into a disaster victim. If you don't know how to inventory your personal property, we have a tool on our website called the Personal Property Memory Jogger and Home Inventory Tool. Now this is free on our website at theredguiderecovery.com.
Redguiderecovery.com, okay.
And this is a pre-populated Excel spreadsheet that has over 6,000 of the most commonly found household items broken down into rooms. So
that's a great tool.
If you can't remember what you had, you just go into this Excel sheet, delete what doesn't apply to you, or maybe add in items that don't already exist, and this will help you maximize your recovery of your insurance limits for your personal property.
How do they go about getting a book like this?
It's free. So you go to my website and you'll see a red toolbox on the home page. It says free recovery tools. Click on it, put in your email address, and we email it to you. What
would you tell those people who have just lost their homes in the past week when they're getting that feeling of, I don't know what to do now?
Take your time. Don't sign any contracts with anybody. There's going to be, people are going to be inundated with out-of-town contractors and adjusters and different people who are looking to get contracts signed, represent them. This isn't the time to make hasty decisions. You need to get professional counsel and advice before signing anything, and read the small print.
And not a bad idea as we go into what could be our worst fire season in forever and for a very long time, just to have one of these on hand.
Yeah, and this is all good information to have to prepare you for recovery.
Right.
So if you use this ahead of time, you're going to be far more prepared for a wildfire or any disaster, because you're going to know whether or not you have enough insurance to replace everything that you had.
All right, one more time with the website where they can go to right there. The Red Guide
To recovery.com.
To recovery.com. Thank you so much for being on. We appreciate it,
sure.
Sean. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet
All
you.
right.